He was a third-round pick in the same draft class as John Mechie. He's rushed for over 1,500 yards and 7 touchdowns over the past 2 seasons with the Commanders, which is a poverty franchise. They were only good this past season. Before that, they were not a good squad. Jaden Daniels has come in and really revamped their mobility on offense. He's added another element to the run game, leading JCM coming in out of Arizona and Austin Eckler and all these other guys. Like, I don't know if that's the running back room I would preferably want to lead with. I really don't see the vision in getting rid of Brian Robinson Jr. But in terms of like team fit across the league, there's like 3 that kind of instantly poke out to me as, incorporating a power running back to your scheme that can get you 4 to 7 yards, per carry, especially when you have momentum. It gets closer to that 7 yard per carry range. He's a red zone efficient running back. He can catch a little bit out of the backfield, but somebody that can complement a speedster, essentially. I think the Cincinnati Bengals would be a fun spot for Brian Robinson Jr. It's opposite of the NFC. It's into the AFC. The Cincinnati Bengals, yes, they do have Chase Brown, but Chase Brown is kind of your scat backfield receiving back on the roster. And P. Ryan is basically, Samaje P. Ryan is essentially the same exact player archetype as Chase Brown. So you might need somebody in there that, especially after getting rid of Zach Moss, who really didn't pan out like a lot of fantasy managers and truthers hoped that he would. I'm sure there's still some idiots that swear by him, but incorporating Brian Robinson into that and having a power back and a downhill back committed with Chase Brown I think it's a phenomenal idea. I think that'll help Joe Burrow control the game, keep his defense off the field, and things like that. All the things that you would want from an offense in terms of game management. Alternatively, the Miami Dolphins. They're purely speed. I mean, A-Chain is a $180, at best, or he's $190 or something like that in terms of weight. He's already dealing with a calf injury. And of course, everyone's always dealing with some type of injury before the season that is relevant to the NFL, so you never know. A lot of times it's just rest, but he has the potential to get banged up. The only thing that concerns me is, Ollie Gordon out of Oklahoma State. He was primed to be one of the best running backs coming out of the class, but Oklahoma State itself was horrible last year. And so I think the team is more of a reflection of his downgraded potential than Ollie Gordon's individual downgrade. I think Ollie Gordon has been phenomenal this preseason. I think he's the power back and the potential running back too. However, Jalen Wright's also on that roster, but he's a lot like A-Chain in terms of speed and one cut backs and high agility. But if you incorporated a cemented power back like Brian Robinson into this offense, I think it paired well with Devon A-Chain and Ollie Gordon and Jalen Wright, and that way you have a lot more flexibility to say, well, we have Brian Robinson and A-Chain as the 1-2 punch. And if one of those guys goes down, then we got Ollie Gordon and Jalen Wright, which are literally replicas of a power back and a speedster back on the roster, and they're young. And if Brian Robinson doesn't pan out, then we don't have to pay him his contract, and we'll roll with Ollie Gordon. So I think that is another powerful move in the NFL. And I'm sure there's others that I'm not thinking of, but that's okay.